Hey guys, Sodo Railway Studios here, and welcome to another DVD reaction. And the DVD I'm going to be reacting to today is Fireman Sam Saves the Day. And let's see if the camera focus a bit more. I know Postman Douglas 2011 has already done a DVD reaction of this, but since I got this DVD recently in the post, I thought I might do a DVD reaction to this. I used to have this DVD when I was a kid, but I lost my childhood copy of it, so that's why I bought it on... I got it on eBay, and it came in the mail this week. And I'm really excited to do this one, because I will get a lot of nostalgic memories when I review this one. I know that for a fact. So yeah, guys, so just sit back and relax. I'm just going to insert the disc. Okay guys, I've just inserted the disc, and there's not much to talk about now really, because it's just the menu now, but with a different picture of the fire service. There's always a different picture on the menu. Anyway, let's get started. Oh, there we go. The remote is playing up a bit again. Anyway, let's get... Oh, focus camera, there we go. Now you get to hear the amazing Season 5 theme song again. So zoom out a little bit so that I don't have camera plugins again. So move aside, make way for Fireman Sam, cause he's gonna save the day. Fireman Sam, cause he's brave to the core. Sam is the hero next door. Yeah. I find it quite coincidental. This is very much going to be a Fireman Sam themed weekend for me, because yesterday I did a Fireman Sam Safe with Sam DVD reaction, and today I'm doing this one. So I think tomorrow I'm probably going to do one of Postman Pat's Speedy Delivery, because that got the most votes in my voting poll recently. Fireman Sam, cause he's brave to the core. Sam is the hero next door. Great theme song, yeah. Oh yeah, Beast of Ponty Pandy. Now this episode, Beast of Ponty Pandy, this is actually, I think this is actually my favourite Fireman Sam episode of all time, actually. I really like that shot of Sam driving Jupiter in the night setting though, because that shows that he must have been doing the night shift. Because I know there was an audiobook that surfaced on YouTube a few years ago called Sam's Night Watch, which was actually narrated by John Alderton. And then there were a few other audiobooks that were narrated by Victor Spinetti, who voiced Texas Pete in Super Ted. And I can tell that Victor Spinetti tried to replicate the voices that John Alderton did when he did audiobooks. Yeah, the classic, yeah, this is pretty much the classic character gets mistaken for monster story, but it is a bit of an unusual take on it, because Norman deliberately gets Woody, he deliberately gets Woolly covered in mud to disguise him as a beast, whereas normally it happens by accident. Like in the Little Red Tractor episode, The Beast of Babblebrook, for example. Or the Thomas episode, The Beast of Sodor. Yeah, it happens quite a lot. You get episodes in kids shows titled The Beast of, and then the name of the town that the show's set in, or place.
What do you see, Dillies? A big black cat, as big as a bear, escaped from a zoo.
Didn't look that big to me, Dillis. As big as a cat, probably.
With Dillis's help, we've made this picture of the beast. Norman saw it first. He was so brave. Yes,
Two different sets of legs there. Front one's a little bit more like an elephant.
Yes, nothing to be afraid of.
But
I still want
funny.
everyone to be careful.
Oh yeah, and there's a really funny adult joke coming up.
Yeah, too right. Wild animals can be dangerous. I remember once when I was swimming in the creek back home when a baby croc bit me on the yes, thank you, Tom.
I still can't believe they nearly said the A word in a Fireman Sam episode.
Nobody's seen him don't think the beast's
I'm amazed they got away with that.
Safe and sound.
Though when I was a kid, I always used to think that Tom was about to say the word arm and it wasn't until a few years ago that I realised the joke.
Information to capture the beast.
Yeah, that's a bit like in the Fireman's, not the Fireman Sound, the Postman Pat episode, The Sheep in the Cloverfield, where they literally say the word kill in that episode when they're talking about how the sheep might eat too much clover.
Ready for him. Any suggestions?
We could all hide in the fire station.
Oh, God damn it, Elvis.
I think what Elvis meant to say.
Or should I say Baldrick?
Catch the beast in our animal head, son.
Because, I mean, that's mainly the CGI series, Elvis, that Elvis's CGI portrayal feels a bit more like Baldrick from Blackadder, but
Put some effort into it, lad.
I do admittedly like how he didn't even sound properly threatening there. Right.
Don't catch me. Let's try that one more time, shall we?
I love how John Alderton sounded genuinely fed up when he was doing that scene, when he got caught in the net.
We'll join forces and search for it together.
Good idea. You two search on the mountain and I'll keep watch down here. And we'll need to stay in touch.
Where did Sarah even get those walkie-talkies? Did she, like, steal them from the fire station or something? Surely she would have had to get Sam's permission
Find
first.
the beast. Wanna come?
Yeah, cool. Be there in a minute.
Unless there may be, like, toy walkie-talkies or something, I don't know.
James to base. We're heading in a northerly direction. Over. What was that?
Nothing. You're not scared, are you?
No.
Me neither. Come on.
Yeah. Those stone walls, I know, I think Train Lover 16 said this in his VHS review of this release. He said that the stone walls were very similar to the ones seen in Little Red Tractor. And I definitely agree with him. They are very, very realistic looking. Oh, and there's the same music cue that was heard in the beginning of the episode on the title card.
Oh no!
Call Sarah. Ask her to get Fireman Sam.
Call Sarah, and it's already being voiced by someone called Sarah, because Mandy's voiced by Sarah Hadland in this season. Though I did notice in the episode Pizza Palaver, Sarah Hadland is a bit inconsistent with Mandy's Welsh accent in that episode, because there is one moment in it when she kind of slips back into her normal English accent, like, Norman's got something to tell you. That sounds a bit more English than Welsh, but
That's right,
yeah.
Tom. They're trapped on the high cliff with the beast.
I'm not sure why they didn't do a retake of that line, but oh yeah, and that's that shot of Sam on the phone, that's stock footage from Bath Time for Dusty, which is on the To the Rescue DVD. And the shots of Tom going out at night, that's stock footage from Bug-Eyed Boy from Venus, which is also on the To the Rescue DVD. The one thing I noticed is in both episodes, in this episode and Bug-Eyed Boy from Venus, there's an alarm for the Mountain Rescue Centre, but they don't use that alarm in any other moments when Tom goes out in Wallaby 1. I wonder why.
Sam, no time to lose. Whittlington, help Firefighter Morris with that animal net.
Yes, sir. Right away, sir.
Let's go, Tom.
And as I mentioned before, I voiced Sam in Real Sean Caffrey's series, Sean's Next Big Adventures, and I'm also going to be voicing Tom. I don't know when he's going to be. I don't know when he's going to feature Tom in an episode, but I imagine it might end up being the next episode that features Fireman Sam characters, because he hasn't featured Fireman Sam characters in the series since his episode 3 of his series, The Good Old Days, where
The beast?
I did the voice of Sam.
Woolly?
The beast, he was only woolly. But the promise
That looks a bit like the cake from the wishing well episode from season 2, which we saw on the Safe with Sam DVD reaction that I uploaded yesterday.
It's funny, isn't it? How you got covered in mud too.
Oh.
What's that, Sarah?
I saw Norman all muddy this morning.
As I've mentioned before, though, I do really love the stop motion animation in this season. It's really smooth. I mean, sure, it's not quite Aardman quality, but quite close, I feel.
Norman Price, this is no laughing matter. You've wasted a lot of the fire service's time. What if somebody...
Yeah, but at least he didn't nearly burn down the whole of Ponty Pandy, like he did in The Great Fire of Ponty Pandy. Which, even though I do like The Great Fire of Ponty Pandy, even I have to admit that was probably Norman's worst deed of all time. Even though I do have nostalgia for The Great Fire of Ponty Pandy, as I've said before. So I am considering doing a DVD reaction of The Great Fire of Ponty Pandy, but I'm not sure how many people would want to watch it, because it's CGI Fireman Sam, and not everyone likes the CGI series. I mean, I don't mind the CGI series, but even I have to admit it's not amazing. Unlike this season in the original series. Anyway, so, Fit for Nothing, yeah. I know Postman Douglas 2011 said that this is his favourite episode of Fireman Sam, so we've had both our favourite Fireman Sam episodes are back to back. Postman Douglas 2011.
Morning, Firefighter Morris. You're just in time for the unveil.
Oh yeah, and Penny said her early birds, like the Thomas episode, the early bird, which I did a reaction of when because of the scene where the narrator said that Thomas has never delivered the mail before, even though he had before in season 3 and in season 4 for a bit, and in Thomas in the Spaceship. So for my reaction clip, I used the clip from the Rory the Racing Car episode, Blue Light Job, when Big Chris goes, "What are you on about?" Because clearly whoever wrote that episode was not paying attention to the continuity. Bit like Henry and the Wishing Tree, almost. But as I've said, I don't mind Henry and the Wishing Tree. But if I were to rewrite the episode The Early Bird from Thomas, I'd probably give the lead role to someone like Rosie or Stanley, because they're two characters that haven't pulled the mail before, whereas Thomas has. So I think it would make more sense for them. As I've mentioned, I know Postman Douglas 2011 mentioned this in his DVD reaction. He thinks that the reason why they made Station Officer Steele's model or puppet a bit fatter might have been because so that they could compare it to the Fat Controller from Thomas to help them, so that they could help them stand out that they were both hit entertainment shows.
I'd hurry home if I were you. I don't like the look of those clouds. They're blacker than a boggy billabong.
We'd better hurry, James. Come on.
Yeah, that thunder's getting closer.
Yeah, I've realised that the voice that Joanna Ruiz does for James sounds pretty much the same as her voice for Pixel in Lazy Town. And she also did a fairly similar voice for Stuck Up Steve and Horrid Henry, but it was a more posh accent.
Wonder what this does.
Yeah. I like that subtle detail of Penny still talking while they're doing it. Oh. I've just remembered though, Sam called the treadmill the joggulator, though I'm pretty sure that's just called a treadmill, really.
I don't know. The joggulator.
Like, I mean, I guess it is cool that Sam built his own treadmill, but not too sure why he called it something else.
Rosa, come
But
down.
how did Rosa get all the way up to Ponty Pandy Mountain, though? Like, you could argue maybe she wanted to go out for a walk, but I can't imagine when cats go out for walks, I can't imagine they go that far. Because I know my cat, when she went out for a walk, she usually didn't go that far when she was still alive.
Thanks, Elvis.
And like, quite a lot of the time she usually ended up coming in to be fed and then going outside and then going straight back in again. Quite a lot of the time. And I remember one time when it happened, I was watching Would I Lie to You, which is a game show or panel show that's presented by Rob Brydon, who's actually Welsh, Rob Brydon, so I wouldn't, so I would have quite liked to hear him in Fireman Sam, because he is actually Welsh, like John Sparks. Oh! But as I was saying, when I was watching an episode of Would I Lie to You, a game which is a panel show, which I think I mentioned before in the Fun Run DVD reaction. As I've mentioned before, Sarah Hadland actually appeared in an episode of Would I Lie to You, but she didn't appear in the episode I'm about to mention. But in that one, Lee Mack, one of the team captains on Would I Lie to You, he was telling a story about when he once rode on a really small pink bicycle, and he got really frustrated by the fact that he'd been forced to ride on it. And my cat was coming into the window, and I told her that I wasn't playing her game, and as soon as I'd said that, Lee Mack shouted, "Stupid game!"
Sarah. You'll just make it worse.
Which I find really funny.
It's okay, Rosa. You two hang on while I get help. It won't take me long to run to the phone box. Hurry, James. I'm hurrying as fast as I can.
Great fires of London. Sarah and Rosa are trapped on the mountain.
Oh, yeah, I like how...
In the middle of a thunderstorm. No time to lose, men. Action station.
I suppose Elvis and Penny probably were still probably still exercising at the time they got the call. So, but if that's the case, how long did it take for them to get changed into their normal fireman's uniforms? Yeah, the rescue theme in this season is fantastic. I forgot to mention. Well, I didn't forget to mention that because I've said it in other DVD reactions. I still don't get, though. I still don't get why there are so many episodes where they bring both Jupiter and Venus, because there are quite a lot of times when it's pointless to bring two vehicles. Although there is one episode in the CGI series, Blow Me Down, where they do take Jupiter and Venus out, but they take them both out for separate emergencies. So Elvis took Jupiter out to save Station Officer Steele in that episode when he got stuck on the Flood's house roof, and Sam and Elvis took Penny. No, Sam and Penny took Venus to the boathouse to go and use Neptune to rescue Norman, Dillis, and Charlie. So yeah, I do like it when they do episodes like that. So that makes more sense, them taking the two vehicles out for two separate emergencies. But because surely there must be like a fourth seat in Jupiter, like there was in the season 4 episode Rich and Famous. Because in that episode we saw Trevor in Jupiter with Sam and Elvis and Steele.
Okay? She'll be fine. Just keep away from the barbed wire, okay?
And don't shelter under trees during thunderstorms. That's good advice for cats and kids.
Yeah.
Grazia. You have saved my darling bambina, Rosa.
Bambina.
Take all the credit, Bella. Sarah helped too.
Yeah.
Grazia, Sarah.
Yeah, it's a little bit stereotypical, Bella, for Italians, which as I mentioned before, that I have a theory that that's why she didn't appear in season 6 to 9.
No, Penny. You will.
Me?
Yes, indeed.
But
Firefighter Morris.
which is a bit ironic because when she returned in the CGI series, they arguably made her even more stereotypical because she really only talks about pizza in the CGI series, even though she didn't. She ran a cafe in the CGI, not the CGI series, the stop motion series. Sorry, she ran a cafe and I know she installed a pizza oven in Pizza Palava, but that doesn't make her. Doesn't exactly make her a great. That doesn't exactly mean she always made pizza.
Maybe not.
Sounds like Sam was agreeing with me just then. Anyway. Yeah. Let's skip the next. Let's skip to the next one. Yeah. Oh, hang on, no, not there quite yet. There we go. Next episode. Oh, Neighborhood Watchout. This is another one of my favorites. Because this episode, in my opinion, it has a really good moral that not a lot of kid shows seem to tell, and that's that sometimes you just have to leave. Sometimes you just got to leave things to the professionals.
Maybe that was the day we were abducted by aliens.
Yeah, that was clearly a reference to Bug-Eyed Boy from Venus just then. Though that's a bit ironic because Penny doesn't appear in that episode. I love that shot of the camera moving while Station Officer Steele's talking.
Just last week, my licorice all sorts vanished without a trace.
Was that supposed to be a? Well, it probably wasn't a reference to the case of the licorice shoelaces because this was the 7th episode of season 5 in the UK at least, whereas the case of the licorice shoelaces was the 21st.
Just like the Ponty Firefighters.
I say that because I think when the season aired in Wales, it was a different airing order, but in the UK it was.
Yes, indeed.
But it was different in the UK.
So you don't mind if we use the garden shed at the fire station as our headquarters?
Very well.
Still wonder why Sam's inventing shed was in the back of the fire station. You could argue that maybe that's not Sam's inventing shed,
What
but
is this?
and
Wow, what's all this for?
it's just a different shed. But
Just like Fireman Sam, you can see all the way to Ponty Mountain.
but considering we saw in Trouble and Squeak that Sam made a new grabber in that shed, that implies that maybe it is supposed to be his inventing shed.
There's
But
Ah,
so
interesting.
What is it?
There's someone suspicious outside Dillis' store. Are you sure? It all looks a bit blurry to me. Trust me, I have a feeling for this kind of thing. Oh no, he's stealing the fruit.
We better call the
I
police.
guess that is. I guess this is. I guess it is understandable that Mandy thought that
Let's go before he gets away.
that Trevor was stealing the fruit because he was wearing a hood over his head, so they wouldn't have been able. They probably wouldn't have been able to work out right away that it was Trevor unless he showed his face, because he didn't show his face.
Very well, Officer Cridlington. Remember to wear the safety
Officer
harness.
Cridlington again. Like I said in Danger Falling Sheep, I remember getting confused why, because in Danger Falling Sheep, Penny referred to him as Officer Cridlington, even though they're not police officers. And again, I can't imagine Elvis would be a very good police officer, let alone a fireman. But PC Selby would probably end up being annoyed by his antics. Kind of like what
I'm only
What?
borrowing it.
PC Malcolm probably would as well,
Quick, kid,
as he
give
was
me a
introduced in
hand.
season 12. PC Malcolm was voiced by oh, Mike's eyebrows just disappeared.
What's all
But
this
as I was
about?
saying, PC Malcolm,
Everything's under
PC
control.
Malcolm is actually voiced by
Criminal.
Colin McFarlane, who voiced JJ and Bob the Builder, as well as Skip,
I wasn't
and he voiced
stealing the
Bulgy and Thomas,
I
and
was taking it
Beresford,
to deliver
and
the
also
present.
Harrison and Shuggington.
Well, I have felt better. Come inside
And
I'll put
I
some
know that
ice
some
on
people
that
think that
nasty bump.
Colin McFarlane would be a good voice actor for Gordon because of I think it's because of the fact that he voiced Harrison. But
Please, we're trying to help.
personally, I'm not really sure how I think about Colin McFarlane voicing it Gordon. Possibly because I'm too used to Keith Wickham voicing him, but still. I mean, at least Elvis was actually able to deal with heights in this, unlike in the episode Model Plane in the CGI series when he got scared of being in a helicopter harness. that ended up being sort of being retconned in the episode Froggy Fantasy, because in that episode he has a cold. Because Elvis gets a cold in that episode, and he ends up sneezing a lot, causing problems for Station Officer Steele. So Sam decides that maybe he can go with Tom and Wallaby 1, and Elvis actually says that he likes going up in the helicopter, so they kind of retconned him being scared of being in the harness in that episode.
There's been an accident. Bella's covered in blood.
Oh,
Call an ambulance. No need.
that's kind of morbid, actually.
Remember? I know everything about first aid.
That's as much blood as you might see in like a horror film or something. If that was blood, obviously, and then in the fact that they imply that that's blood, that's actually a bit dark for a kids show. The fact that they imply that that's blood.
Looks like she's gonna be okay. Good work, team.
Oh.
Oh, that's not blood. It's tomato sauce.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah, I think some people often use ketchup as fake blood as well.
Hey, that's my dad's ladder.
Although I think they probably usually do that as an April Fool's prank,
We can't leave it here.
which this wasn't.
Too dangerous.
Down a bit.
Okay,
Steady.
I mean, I guess maybe Mandy didn't realise that was Mike's ladder, but you'd think that... Oh, still, you'd think that...
Trevor, wait.
It's no use. We'll never catch him.
Hey, that's my line! That was a Silver the Hedgehog impression.
Where's my ladder gone?
Yeah, because obviously, I mean, because Silver's catchphrase in his boss battle in Sonic 06 is "it's no use."
Not exactly.
So
We'd better call Fireman Sam.
Oh, I'm fine.
yeah,
Get down on me
that's
own.
why I said it. I'm probably going to end up like any moment where a character says "it's no use" in one of these DVD reactions, I'm probably going to end up saying, "Hey, that's my line" in my Silver impression.
He's stuck on a roof.
But Jupiter's snorkel doesn't work.
I think, which is because of the fact that most people associate Silver with that quote, because of the fact that he said it loads of times during his boss fight in Sonic 06. Although I do know that I've never actually played Sonic 06, but I do know that apparently Silver's boss fight is apparently a lot easier when you actually play as Silver. Because if you're playing as Sonic, then the boss fight's almost impossible to beat, apparently. So yeah, so maybe Silver saying "it's no use" a lot in that boss fight is probably a bit ironic, because of the fact that the boss fight really is no use when you're playing as Sonic.
Don't worry, Mike. We'll have you down in no time.
But Sam,
Why did you park in the middle of the road, Sam? If you're not careful, PC Selby might give you a parking ticket. I'm gonna give you a parking ticket there, Sam.
You can't quite get it.
Oh, wait, you're not the Sam I know. Yeah, that's a reference to the fact that Postman Pat used to have a character named Sam, that being, of course, being Sam Waldron. Because even though Sam Waldron didn't appear in the Cosgrove Hall era, well, he did in Postman Pat and the Green Rabbit, but that was only a background cameo, I think. Though they did use his mobile shop as set dressing a few times in the Cosgrove Hall era of Postman Pat. And then I think they reused the prop for. They reused the model for Sam's mobile shop when they made Michael Lamb's mobile shop in Special Delivery Service. Yeah, pretty good episode, I'm going to admit. As I said, it has a good moral about teaching kids that sometimes you have to leave things to the professionals. And I think a similar moral was taught in the Thomas episode, Don't Bother Victor, which is my favourite season 16 episode, as I've said before. Ah, The Case of the Licorice Shoelaces. Pretty good one.
Are you sleepy, Gillis?
yes, Sam. I didn't sleep a wink last night.
Why's that?
Someone's been stealing licorice shoelaces from the shop, and I'm worried sick.
Oh dear. Anyway, You've known him for years, you fire extinguisher.
Sam just turned into Jeremy Clarkson there. Oh no! Anyway,
I'll just
yeah, that's one of the most famous Top Gear memes out there. Jeremy Clarkson, when James May went, oh no! When James May went, oh bad news! The Dacia Sandero, it's delayed. And then Jeremy Clarkson went, oh no! Well anyway, last week,
Dennis, they make that noise when the
I can't remember the rest of
I replaced
the
them.
quote, but that moment is very famous among Top Gear fans because of Jeremy Clarkson going, oh no, anyway. Snowman.
Sorry, Dennis.
Hope it's not the snowman balloon from Thomas's frosty friend. Yeah, I know it's not an actual snowman, I was making a joke.
Joe.
Great fires of London. Bella, what's happened?
Oh, Sam, I was polishing the fire extinguisher when a whoosh! She covers me in a white stickiness.
White stickiness.
Fire extinguishers are best left alone, Bella.
That line sounds quite wrong if taken out of context. Anyway. Oh yeah, there's Norman's Joker Soaker from the episode Joker Soaker. Although I don't think it was there. I don't think it was there earlier on in the beginning of the episode. Though I guess they just put it there so that Dillis would have a better reason for blaming Norman.
But this time I'm going to stop your pocket money until you've paid for all of them.
It depends how much. That depends how much you've given him.
Warriors wearing me out. Now, what was I supposed to be doing? Oh, what I need's a rest. Oh.
What's up, Norman?
Someone's been stealing licorice shoelaces, and Mum thinks it's me. She's gonna stop my pocket money.
Well, you'd think that she'd know that if someone had been stealing it, you'd think she'd know to call the police. Like, I know the police force didn't exist in the series at this point, but still,
Could be Sherlock Holmes.
this would have been
Could be my assistant.
I'm pretty sure you mean Watson, Mandy, because that's the name of Sherlock Holmes' assistant, Dr. Watson.
All right, then. You can be Sherlock
Like Emma
Holmes.
Watson, who played Hermione in Harry
Now I
Potter.
have the torch.
But as I was saying, I know the police force didn't exist in the series at this point, but I think this would have been a pretty good... This would have been, in this case, it would have been a decent way to... This would have been a decent time to introduce PC Malcolm, especially considering they mentioned that PC Malcolm is actually Nurse Flood's brother.
Come on, we got a thief to catch.
I do like that bit. A lot of funny moments in season 5.
Leading from my man's shop.
I love how they edited that magnifying glass as well. Because that's exactly what a normal magnifying glass would look like.
The Alarago.
It's all bollock nice to me, Bella.
Hmm.
This looks good.
Yeah. See, Bella just doesn't just serve pizza in her cafe. She sells other Italian foods. Probably not just Italian, but still.
That's what.
No, it can't be.
Give yourself up, Mr. Flood. Your life of crime is over.
Mr. Flood. I think. Is that the only time Norman referred to Mike as Mr. Flood?
Steal those licorice shoelaces.
Because I think in the CGI series they just called him Mike.
Not licorice. You want a taste?
Though you'd think that because he's a child he'd have to call him Mr. and then his surname, like how in the original series when Sarah and James talked to Station Officer Steele, they always called him Mr. Steele. Or if they were talking to Charlie, they'd call... Or if Norman or Mandy were talking to Charlie, they'd probably have to call him Mr. Jones. Though, to be fair, I suppose maybe people will probably end up getting reminded of Mr. Jones from Little Red Tractor. I know I would.
Now, if you really want to catch the thief, you're going to have to set a trap for him.
Not too many traps, though. You don't want to go overboard like Kevin did with his booby traps in Home Alone.
Places. Then we wait.
Because I feel like the climax of Home Alone with all the booby traps is pretty much just live-action Tom and Jerry, basically. Home Alone.
Leave those shoelaces alone.
Well, the climax is, anyway. I love how they edited that. I love how they edited John Sparks' voiceover to prove that Dillis was upstairs. Oh, I love how Mandy's pulling Norman back. That proves that she really does care for him.
A fire. And Dillis is shot.
Yeah. So I think this entire rescue, I think, is pretty much made up of stock footage from Mummy's Little Pumpkin. Well, I think except the moment with Penny reading out the emergency, because I think that was stock footage from the Big Freeze. It was even the same voice line that she said, I think. So yeah, there's two episodes on this DVD that have rescues that take place at night. There's this one and Beast of Ponty Pandy. And I think the only time when they went out to do a rescue in the original series was in the episode Halloween in season 3. Oh, and I've just noticed a goof. When they first went out, it was Penny, but then Station Officer Steele is in Jupiter for some reason. Oh, now he's disappeared. I wish they'd make up their minds about who to send out on the emergencies, but yeah. As I've mentioned, season 5 is my favourite season of Fireman Sam, but now over the past couple of years, I have come to realise it is a bit more flawed than I thought. I have come to realise it's not perfect. Like, there are still some issues with it, but overall, it is still my favourite season. Because it's the one that I grew up with, as well as the original series, of course.
It's no good having a smoke alarm if it doesn't have batteries, Dillis.
Though I didn't watch it quite as much as this season, I don't think. Because the only DVDs I had of the original series, I think, were Norman's Tricky Day,
The case of the licorice shoelace
and then,
is solved. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you
which other one?
the thief.
Which other one did I have of the original series? I think I could have sworn I had another one.
Sorry, my little precious.
Yeah, Norman's Tricky Day, Action Stations. Yeah, that's the first one. That was the first one. That was the first time I saw the original series. And then when I was a kid, I also had the Brightest Children's Favourites DVD, and that had the episode Steel Under Par on it.
Norman Price, you little menace.
You little menace. Just like Dennis the Menace. I remember being quite shocked when I found out, because in oh, now it's made another chapter now. Because in the 2009 Dennis the Menace series, Dennis the Menace and Nasher, or just Dennis and Nasher, Bob Golding is in that show. He voices Sergeant Slipper, as well as, I think Rob Rackstraw's in that show as well, and Teresa Gallagher. And then in the original Dennis the Menace series from the 1990s, Dennis's dad is actually voiced by John Badelli, who voices Top Hat in Tugs.
Yeah, well,
And Dennis himself, I think, was voiced by Richard Pearce, who voiced Budgie in Budgie the Little Helicopter,
Firefighter Sam.
which also stars Kerry Shale.
not everyone's cut out to be a firefighter.
And Richard Pearce, he also did the voice of Oswald in the UK dub of Oswald.
Well, for a start, you've got to have a head for heights.
I've got a head for heights. I said woolly, way up high on Pandy Mountain, remember?
Oh yeah. Yeah, this is a flashback from Danger Falling Sheep,
Sir Norman Price.
which we saw on the To the Rescue DVD.
Need more than a few pebbles to stop Norman Price.
Yeah, even though we've technically already seen this clip on the To the Rescue DVD, but we're gonna show this. Yeah, this episode, Firefighter Tomorrow, is pretty much a clip show, I think. In the first half, anyway, because it shows clips from earlier episodes. A bit like the Bob the Builder episode in Inspector Calls, where the machines think about things that have happened previously in the series, and they show flashbacks from previous episodes.
Roger, Tom. Can you lower the winch from where you are? I'll try, but will Norman be able to catch it? I'll be doing the catching. Over. Right, Tom.
I love the fact that I've just remembered the sound for that the sound for the winch going down. That's the exact same sound effect that they use for the Daleks in Doctor Who. And that's when I first found that out. I found it absolutely hilarious. As I mentioned in my Rory Takes Off DVD reaction, I don't normally watch Doctor Who, but I have seen a few episodes, like the episode that I mentioned that Peter Kay starred in.
Okay, Tom, bring us up.
Keep your fleece on, Willie. I've got him.
That was cool. Jolly good this open day. Hope you're enjoying it, Norman.
Yeah.
You bet.
It's
I wanna be a
very weird how Norman's actually enjoying the open day in this episode, when in the episode Open Day in the CGI series, he didn't enjoy it because he wasn't allowed to do much.
That's it. I think really quick, I do.
So yeah, I definitely prefer this one, because at least he wasn't stupid enough to convince James to sit on the roof of the fire station. Oh yeah, there's footage from... This is from Joker Soaker.
You were well and truly stuck, aren't you?
Yeah, this episode is quite nostalgic for me as well, Joker Soaker, because when I was a kid, because I used to have it on the Funshine Children's Favourites DVD, which also had the Thomas episode Too Hot for Thomas on it.
Where did that come from? Whoa! What on earth?
Aren't you supposed to do it the other way around, Station Officer Steele? Yeah, I think that's what Postman Douglas 2011 said in that scene when he did in his Let It Snow DVD reaction, because Joker Soaker's on the Let It Snow DVD, which I don't have yet, but I might get it soon, and then if hopefully I might find it soon, and then maybe I'll do a DVD reaction of it around Christmas time.
I can be helpful. Remember the time Trevor's bird watching hut caught fire?
Oh yeah, this is another. Yeah, this was another episode on the Twitches in Trouble DVD. Let It Snow DVD, sorry. Yeah, this is from Twitches in Trouble. The only flashback episode that I didn't see, that I never watched when I was a kid. I love that scream that Dillis just made. Oh, I love this version of Tom's theme though. This is the version that had played in Twitches in Trouble. Though in the original episode, it was shown during Tom's call-out scene rather than that scene, because it was playing a different tune when he was actually putting out the fire.
That was an accident. I'm gonna find Penny. She knows I'd make a good firefighter.
I love this Tom sign there.
You're looking nice, Penny.
What do you want?
Does he have a crush on Penny? I'm pretty sure Norman's supposed to be 7, so it's a bit concerning that he might have a crush on Penny. Really, it's hilarious though. So that's not the only time that happened, because I think in the episode Cadet Catastrophe, it was shown that he had a crush on Ellie.
It's over there, Uncle Sam.
Oh yeah, and we've already seen this clip earlier on.
Careful, Penny. We don't know what we're
But like I was saying, Norman having a crush on Penny I do find genuinely hilarious, because the fact that he said she was looking nice.
But it wasn't a beast,
So,
was it?
I don't know what it is with the people of Ponty Pandy and finding Penny attractive, because in the original series, Elvis and Trevor had a crush on Penny in the original series. I think it was mainly Elvis, I think, that had the crush on Penny.
Great. It's just
Which I did like I liked how in the episode Norman's Big Fossil Adventure, Elvis tried to do something for Penny to... While I'll admit it was stupid of Elvis to think that one of them was going to get fired, I do like how
Shoot, shoot.
You can come down
he even though it was stupid of him to think that one of them was going to get fired, I liked how he tried to get himself fired just so that Penny wouldn't have to go.
Not me.
Because I liked how that... Because even though I don't think it was intentional, but I liked how it sort of called back to the fact that he had a crush on Penny in the original series. I mean, it was enough to make... that act was enough to make Penny kiss him, so...
It's boring up here.
Yeah.
Norman, what are you doing up there?
I was being a firefighter, but I need some backup.
Yeah.
We'll be waiting a long time.
Unless we caught Uncle Sam.
Yeah. Depends how long they take to get there, but surely that... it doesn't take that long, I'm sure.
Oh, it's Norman.
I love the way Sarah Hadland delivered that line. Don't blame her for doing that, though, considering, it's quite often Norman that gets in trouble, so... Not quite as much as in the CGI series, of course, but... There we go.
We've never seen a firefighter rescued before.
Use that cool
I'm pretty sure you have, James, because you saw Sam getting rescued in the episode Deep Trouble for Sam.
Don't worry, Norman.
You could argue maybe he was being sarcastic, for all I know.
Thanks, Sam.
How on earth did you manage to get stuck all the way out on that branch?
I'm a great climber, me. I can climb anything.
But if you're going to be a firefighter, you need to be able to climb down, too.
Yeah. And that's the end of the DVD. Yeah, there we go. I would show because there's a couple of trailers at the end, but I would show them, but they're the exact same ones that were shown on the To the Rescue DVD, so there's not much point in showing them because oh, hang on, there you go. There we go. I pressed the wrong button there. I was going to go to the menu, but I accidentally pressed setup. And that's the end of it. Yeah, the reason I didn't show the trailers is because they're the exact same ones on the To the Rescue DVD, like I said. So the Wiggles and Bob the Builder Project Build It. And the Wiggles advert is the exact same one as on To the Rescue. So the Bed's Now Asleep song. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this DVD reaction, and I will see you tomorrow for my Postman Pat a Speedy Delivery DVD reaction. So, see you all next time.